I'm still kind of tripping off this generative fill that they have in Photoshop now. But if I didn't mention before, to get to that, all you're going to do is go to your Creative Cloud, and then you're going to go over to apps, and then you're going to scroll down to beta apps. And that's where you'll be able to find Photoshop, and then you'll be able to activate generative fill. And with that said, let me put my glasses back on again. Now let's imagine you're in a relationship and it doesn't go well, but you had a fire picture together. Let's say this is the image. I'm just going to go over and lasso over the brother. My bad, bro. And we're just going to make sure we get the top half and the bottom half of him. And then I'm just going to go to generative fill, and I'm going to type in pillow, and then I'm just going to enter. And look at it, just like that, you get 3 options to use that fully replaces this man from this picture, which is kind of crazy. There you have it. You can keep the photo that you like, just a little different than before. Now this image was kind of cool because what I wanted to do was kind of expand the image and then do some things with it. So first thing I want to do here is hit the C on the keyboard. That's going to open the crop tool. We're then going to move this image down. And what we want to do is see if they can actually continue the foot, continue the stool and different things like that, and see what happens. So we're going to use the Marquee tool. We're going to make this little area right here kind of highlighted. And then we're going to hit generative fill. We're not even going to type anything in. We want AI to do it for us. And just like that, you've been able to extend the stool and the actual bench that he was sitting on, which is kind of crazy. So let's do that with the left side so we can kind of balance him out. And you get the same thing with the left side. And remember, you have 3 options to choose from. And if you don't like these options, you can always just regenerate and start over. Now let's see if we can remove these glasses. So, I mean, I obviously don't mind glasses, but let's see how it looks with the generative AI kind of removing those. So we're going to do the same thing. Marquee tool. We're going to select that area, and then we're going to hit generative fill. But instead, before we hit generate, we're going to type in no glasses. So it kind of gives a parameter for what you want it to do. And there you have it. He has 3 options to choose from. I'm going to just go with number 1, even though he looks a little mad right now. That's probably because he just removed his glasses without telling him. But let's see what we can do about the hat. So for the hat, the first thing I want to do is kind of move in the brim on it because I want to change it to a baseball hat. And I don't want too much information around it. So I'm going to select those 2 sides of the brim, and then I'm just going to hit remove. And it's just going to crop them in a little bit, but it's not going to fully take them away, but it'll work. Now that we got that done, what I'm going to do is select the whole hat, and then I'm going to change that to a baseball hat. So that way the information is a bit more easier for the generative AI or generative fill to use. Now let's have a little fun with it. We'll add a chain on him by just selecting his neck and hitting gold chain. And then we'll change his bracelet to gold too. See what we get there. Okay, it's kind of cool. It's a little drippy. Next, we're going to select his whole body, but then we're going to go up to select and hit inverse because we want to affect the background, not him. And then we're going to type in baseball stadium and hit generate and see what happens. And I mean, this is what you get. You get 3 options to choose from. He's kind of on a bench right there. Right here, he's like in the middle of the stadium. And this one, it looks like he is headed to the moon. I don't know. So let's go with number 1 on this. But as you can see, if I were to be really intricate with selecting him, you can actually build out all these different layers and kind of turn this into his whole new canvas. Next, I'm going to try and change bro from a green background with some trees and stuff to kind of laying in the water. So all we got to do is the same process pretty much, just select him. And we're just going to make sure we get all the green of the leaves in there. And then we're just going to say laying in water and hit generate. Okay, so we get 3 options to choose from. This one looks like more like muddy water. Then we have one that's like kind of eye level water. And then I think this third one works best. I see the ear is a little bit off, so I'm just going to kind of play around with that. And a way around that is I'm just going to select the outer edge of him, and I'm just going to type in water again and see what happens. And I do kind of like that better. He's a bit more submerged, and now I can just use this mask over here, and I could kind of paint in and around the areas that I want to keep, and the ones that I don't want to keep, I can kind of take away. And now you're starting to get a nice, cool image. Let me see what I could do here with the bottom half of him. I'm just going to use the Marquee tool in a box form. Then we're going to go back to the generative fill, and then I'm just going to type in water again. Okay, so we got the 3 options. The first 2 kind of look more like reflections, but this last one looks pretty dope. So I'm going to build off of this just to show you what you can kind of create. This is the final output of this design. As you see, you can start to really build some stuff. I think this is pretty fire. I'm gonna just throw it into my collection and maybe I'll do something with it later. Last up, I'm gonna get a little fun with this. We got this image of these 3 people just kind of chilling, sitting on some grass. Looks like they're in college or whatever. But she's obviously paying attention to the guy on your left or right hand side. And the other guy looks like he's just trying not to be a third wheel. So what we're gonna do is help him out and remove him from the image. All we're gonna do is add this marquee tool. We're gonna circle around him and we're gonna see what the AI does. We'll see if the AI is picking up what we're putting down. And I mean, they gave us 3 good options. It's kind of crazy because they left his laptop. They moved his laptop next to the girl. One's a book bag. And then the third one, I mean, they just replaced him with a treat. They're like, you were never available or existed. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, as you see, I just wanted to go a little deeper into what you can do with generative AI. You can make these things pretty much whatever you want, especially when you start to think creatively up here. That's all I got. I just wanted to really get into this. If you like this, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, all those good things. It is Jay Burke. I'm gonna give you more content and keep being creative and just challenging you to create as well. Talk to you next time. It's Jay.